Awesome. All right. So we're at our mobile CSP Hangout for August 31st. This is our first Hangout of the academic school year, which is awesome, and it's so wonderful to see everybody here. So real quick, the way we start this off is we go around, we introduce ourselves, say your name, your school, where you're located, and you can say what lesson you're currently on. I want to spend a little bit of time later on actually talking about what you did to start off the class. So for now, just kind of say where you're at, and then we'll start up the discussion a little later and go more in depth with sharing ideas. So let's see. Matt, do you want to go first?
Sure. I'm Matt Lane from Ellington High School in Ellington. Currently, I'm just about at the end of section 2.1. We're about to start 2.2 tomorrow. I'm sorry, not 2.2 and 2.3. End of 2.2, starting 2.3 tomorrow.
Matt, you're in Ellington?
Yes.
I'm right next door.
Oh, yeah? Where's that?
Holland.
Oh, nice.
Let's introduce yourself then.
Okay, sorry. Betsy Dillard, Holland High School, class of, what, 2013?
Yep.
So I've been doing this for a bit. I am currently doing my first day stuff, photocopying it. I have no students. Yay!
I'll join Betsy. My name is Chinma Uche. I teach at the Academy of Aerospace and Engineering High School and the Greater Hartford Academy of Math and Science. Our students are coming in on Wednesday, so I haven't started teaching.
Okay, Melissa Farrington. I teach at Simsbury High School, and I am currently on lesson. We did 1.4 today, so we created our portfolios. We've had App Inventor up and running today. We tested out the first test app, so we got the Wi-Fi working, so everything was good. I'm having trouble with Google Sites, so I probably have, out of my 44 students, 8 students got kicked out of Google Sites for problems, and I was just wondering if anybody else has seen that, if anybody else is having trouble with that. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but it's kind of messed us up with portfolios, so that's where I am.
I have a question for that. Are you using school-designated email addresses for
we
Google,
made our
or are
own.
you personal?
No, we made our own Gmail. No.
I wonder if it's the restrictions within the IT network that they're setting up. You might have something to do with being able to access for whatever reason. So I would check with your IT administrator on that to see if it's being blocked for some reason.
Right. It's just so weird that it's 6 out of 44, though. So,
yeah.
I can't figure it out.
We used to have problems with Google Cloud and so forth during when we had a slower network, but since we upgraded our network, we're all set. We used to get that yellow sign on top that says, reconnecting and all that. Anything to do with it, slow network.
Yeah, no, I think we're okay on that too. I haven't seen that. It's
what was the error? Melissa, what was the error that was occurring?
We get that they're unauthorized activity on the site, but they're not doing anything. So I can't figure out. They're having to go back in and verify that it is in fact themselves. They have to answer a questionnaire. So nobody else has seen that.
Have they uploaded any kind of images that might be considered objectionable?
No, they're not even to the point to upload images yet. They're just.
This is a brand new account.
How old are they?
How old?
Yeah.
Juniors and seniors.
Okay.
You think it could be age if they put in their real age?
No, 13 is Google's cutoff.
Okay, no, they're all 13, so. I don't know. I'll keep you posted.
Kevin, you want to go next?
Kevin Murphy, Deerfield, Massachusetts. I'm one of the oddballs. I kind of did this did the training last year, and I taught it last year as well. Kind of like in the kind of outskirt way of doing it. And then I did the summer course intensive this year, and I'm going to be teaching again this year, but unfortunately not the full course. It's a battle every year with numbers and trying to get to teach the class. And so this year I'm doing a hybrid version again because the course I'm teaching is called Programming and 3D Modeling, basically. So I have to teach half the time, well, not half, less than half if I can squeeze it out, 3D modeling. But it's also every other day, 90-minute course and semester. So last year I did this version of it as well, and I was only able to get to like create 1 or unit 4. So looks like I'm going to have, half going this year. But I'm pushing to teach the AP the following year. So that's my goal.
Keep at it.
Thanks. I need to like recruit. I need to like jazz up the kids, get them excited, get the numbers up, because it's the only way it's going to happen.
CS Ed Week.
Hmm.
Come to the first CSTA meeting. We'll give you a lot of stuff on it.
And a lot of the times it's not the kids not signing up; it's that they're conflicting schedules.
Mm-hmm.
They have like everything else during my class time, so they got the requirements of this, that, and the other thing. So it's really tough. But my building principal is getting a little bit more understanding and flexible, and so we'll see.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Chris, did you go yet?
I didn't. Hi, my name is Christopher Kerr. I'm a teacher at Newington High School, and I'm teaching this right now as 2 half-semester classes with the plan of making this an AP full-year class next year. We have just today finished creating our Google sites for homework and portfolio work. And I was just about to turn them loose on lesson 2.1, the Martin Luther King I Have a Dream speech, when the fire alarm went off. So that's that. I've got questions and things, but we'll get done with the introductions and whatnot later on.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, we will have a time for Q&A as usual.
I forgot to say that I met my class, but then we have every other day, and that it's even days, and we're going to have 2 odd days in a row. So we didn't meet, barely logged on to Google at this point. So that's where we're at. Anyway.
It's always a struggle. It's always interesting to hear all your different stories and to see it too when I go in the classrooms. So I think it was all of the teachers. So I'm Pauline. I'm the teaching consultant for Mobile CSP. So I go around and I visit with all of the teachers who are in Connecticut and help them and assist them whenever I possibly can. So I've started my visitation so far and delivering devices and logistical stuff as of last week. I have a few more first visits to finish up within the next week or so, and then later on in the Hangout we'll talk about visitation. I have some proposals as far as a visitation schedule. And then for the returning teachers, we'll see how much availability I get. And I might be able to stop by and pop my head in every now and then. Ralph, do you want to go?
I think we missed Michelle.
Did we? Oh.
Yes, sorry. I'm here. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm Michelle Murphy. I'm from East Lyme High School, and we are just getting ready to start 2.0. We have all of our Gmails, our portfolios, and we have downloaded an emulator, and some students have tried it. Not everyone's tried it. And it worked for me on my desktop, but not on my laptop.
Which one? Which one?
ARC. And I also downloaded another one I'm going to try. But I've been told that my Wi-Fi adapter should be here on Wednesday, and so then we'll be in a much better position.
Okay, I'm Ralph Morelli, teaching at Trinity College. Our classes don't start till next Tuesday. I'm not teaching the mobile CSP course this semester. I've been using the Genymotion emulator, and it's terrific.
I asked my school to see if they can get them license for it. I don't know. So they're investigating to see how much it costs.
What costs?
The Genymotion, I thought you said kids can download it as individuals, but if we wanted it on our network, then we'll need to pay something.
Yeah.
So I told our IT to check how much it would take, but we don't know yet.
All right. Hi, Alan. How are you?
Hey, took me a while to connect here.
Uh-oh. Well, I'm glad you're here. So we're actually just finishing up introduction. So introduce yourself, what school you're at, and where you're currently at in the course.
Okay, so I'm Alan Tanchatko. Hi to everyone else. I teach at Maloney High School in Meriden. Currently, earlier we just started doing our Google sites. So that's pretty much how far I've done, because I wanted them to get started with Blown to Bits while waiting for the tablets. But I don't know why, but the Blown to Bits is blocked by our school server.
Oh, why?
So I heard about that, actually. I just want to address, I heard about that from Phil earlier. Whenever you can't access something, you can always email me, but also check the mobile CSP resources folder on Google Drive. The Blown to Bits PDF is inside that folder.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I would. My workaround would be to download the PDF and put it somewhere else if it's not available.
Okay. Yep, so if anything else like that comes up, just let me know.
Wow. How can that be blocked? I just don't understand.
I'm just as puzzled why. I don't know. I am like, I would understand if it's like a distraction, but I don't think a student would like go over and read Blown to Bits.
Well, maybe the term "blown to bits" is in the blacklist. You know, blown to bits.
I don't know why.
I've had Google blocked at Maloney.
No, Google is fine now, Betsy.
I think Dana just joined us. So Dana, we're actually finishing up introduction. So if everything is all set up for you, if you could introduce yourself, what school you're at, and what lesson you're on, that would be great. All right, that could be a microphone issue.
We're not hearing you, Dana.
Hang on. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm trying to do it on my phone. It's a little awkward.
Who's got the birds playing? I hear birds.
That's probably me.
It's definitely one of you guys.
All right, Dana, you still there?
Yep.
All right, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick for us.
Okay, I'm Dana Kinnell. I teach at the Connecticut IB Academy in East Hartford, and I'm new to teaching mobile CSP this year. Anything else?
What lesson are you on?
We're still doing preview and setup because we're having many technology difficulties at my school. We don't have any smart boards that work. The computer lab doesn't work. I don't have a projector. The kids don't have computers, so we're making do with logging in and getting our portfolios set up. And most kids were able to at least set up their portfolios today. So that was 1.3, I believe.
Yes. Great. All right. So let's see. For those of you who joined late, I'm going to post the link to the agenda again. I think now we've officially hit everybody who's here. Let's see how far we can get before somebody else joins in. I understand that we're just getting set up, so it took a little longer than what it usually does to get on and be ready, so that's fine. We don't have much on the agenda today. It was more testing the setup and kind of being able to chat about what you've been doing. So a couple of announcements from me. You have all pretty much mentioned that you're working on getting your students' emails and Google Sites. So I did share with each of you individually your student information spreadsheet. So it's a Google Sheet that you would record your students' names, emails, Google Sites, all their grades for the different exams and projects. So if you haven't yet gotten that, please do let me know. Your next sort of like little assignment from us is to fill that in and let me know when you've completed it, as far as your students' names and emails, because then we'll start working on scheduling the pre-survey. So this will be the pre-survey that you received in the summer. We'll send it out to each of your students, but we need their names and email addresses before we can do that. So I'm anticipating you guys being able to get started with the pre-survey starting next week sometime, and you'll have until the middle of September to have students complete it. It only takes about 5 or 10 minutes, as you know. If you have any questions again about your student information sheet, if you've never received an email with a link to it, do let me know. You're free to use that to kind of record whatever you need to record as well, and to use it for your own use, just as long as you keep what's required and what's in there. Are there any questions about the student spreadsheets or the pre-survey?
Pauline,
Yes.
when did you share those? Because I don't see in my drive anything about the spreadsheet.
I have a suggestion. The folder that you shared with us has our name on it, and so when I was looking in my folders, I got like tons of folders in Google. It just had my name, and I was like, I wonder what that is. So I double clicked it, and it was all the stuff that you were describing. So if it was renamed with the name and then like mobile CSP, maybe that'd be helpful.
Oh, yeah. So okay. So I think what's not in there is CSP. It has your last name, and it says student emails, I believe, at the end. I sent them out last week individually to each teacher as I set them up. So that was for the new teachers, the 12 new teachers who we trained this summer, that I did that. If you already had a spreadsheet from us before, it would be the same one. But that is a good point that I didn't put mobile CSP in the title of it, so I could do that. Is Matt the only one who didn't get it? Nobody else? Okay, I'll reshare.
If you're changing the title, then maybe you need to add the year too.
So the way it's done is
you to add mobile CSP.
But each teacher has, so like Betsy, for example, has in her one document that's shared with her, there's different tabs inside of her personal document that has different dates, different semesters, and different years. Okay, so each teacher has one document. Okay. Okay. So I can do that. I can share that again with you, Matt, after the Hangout. Just a quick reminder, and I put a link in the agenda to the draft agenda for our next meeting will be on the 14th. And instead of a Hangout, we'll be meeting at CCSU for the CT-CSTA meeting. So all the teachers from the summer should have that already in their calendars, and we're hoping we can see most of, if not all of you. It starts at 5 p.m. That agenda is sent out, and attendance is as well as sent out through the CT-CSTA mailing list. So if you haven't joined that, make sure you visit the website ctcsta.org to sign up. And we'll be sending out another copy of the attendance as well, so you can indicate whether or not you'll be there. But we hope that you will. And again, it will replace this meeting, so there will be no 7 o'clock hangout on the 14th.
Kevin, are you part of your local CSP?
Hello? What?
Are you part of your local CSTA?
Yeah, the
West Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. And I'm just like zooming through these, pun intended. So the other thing I have on the agenda under announcements is the visitation schedule. So that's for the 12 new Connecticut teachers. I was working on this kind of like really fast today. If there's, we can kind of talk individually on a one-to-one basis about whether or not you think this is good. Some of you have already like ran it by you. Thursdays are going to be my busiest days. I'm going to make them my big travel days, and I'll be switching off between those of you who are further away. So Michelle and Scott and Greg, I'll have to split my time between you guys, especially because you're both, I know Scott and Michelle are pretty far, about an hour, and you're at the same time as far as classes. So we'll need to kind of talk about this and figure out what will work best. But this is what I'm proposing so far, and I'm hoping we can work it out. And some of you have a little laptop person next year, meaning that would be a Hangout. So I'm going to try this year, try to visit on days when I can't visit in person, is to visit online. Can I have you joining in the classroom online, have me there, and able to answer questions if the students have questions. But I realize that you're not all here as far as the 2015 cohort, so we can talk on an individual basis. I just wanted you to know this is what I was thinking of so far. If there's any immediate objections, to just kind of let me know and let me know what you're thinking. So now I know what the part you're itching to talk about is the first days of classes, right? So how are things going? How did you introduce the course? What's been going on? Some of you have gotten your tablets, your brand new tablets for the 2015 cohort. So how are they working out? What have you been doing? Feel free to use the rest of the time to kind of talk about things that you did. I know Dana was saying like she just had technology issues getting set up. They have no computers, right? How are you dealing with that type of situation? And this will kind of help the people who haven't started class yet as well, because there will be people who will be watching this Hangout and kind of getting ideas from it as well. So feel free to share what you've been doing. The floor is open. And kind of we don't have much time left because I know it's a 40-minute Hangout that it's recording. So kind of just like share, kind of take turns sharing, keep it equal.
Okay, I got a brief question. I'm having trouble finding how I'm supposed to grade this content. So for the returning teachers, have you graded just the create activities or just the say like after the MLK is over, there's the improvisational ones that you can do. How are you assessing your students on a weekly basis?
On the portfolio.
I'll go.
Okay, go ahead.
I grade pretty much everything. It's just like, to me, it's like any other class. So any work that they do, I feel like they need to get credit for it. So I use the rubrics that we use for all of the projects. And I sort of have modified it to make my own rubric, but I grade both their portfolio write-up and their project. And again, you know, you're at the beginning, you're not grading as much because they're not doing as much. And so you haven't really talked about abstraction early on. So that's not an element that you can grade at the beginning. So you add elements as you move along. So what I'm looking for gets more and more complex as the year goes through. Does that kind of make sense?
Okay, so in reality, I've been worrying because there isn't a lot to grade, but truly there isn't a lot to grade. So I guess grade any kind of response I get on their portfolio website and any kind of app they can generate at any point.
That's what I do, because I feel like I feel like my students do a better job when they know that they're getting some reward for it. Although, I mean, they do enjoy doing it, but I think that some of the I think they do a better job if they feel like I'm going to look at it and that they know. Plus, you're trying to train them. So when I look at it, I write them comments back and say, you could have explained this code better. And that's one thing I'm focusing on this year, is trying to get them to explain their code better than they did last year. So I need to give them constant feedback from the very beginning when they're trying to explain lines of code. So.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll apply some updates and have some questions for next meeting then.
Yeah, I look at their portfolio as a whole. I mean, I grade every reflection, every assignment essentially. You know, I do it more on a check plus basis. But then, of course, when I get to the create and the larger assignments, I grade them differently. But that's pretty much, I make sure that they do everything. So I make sure they get a check plus or whatever for what they do.
Okay, so like minimal grading for the smaller response stuff, but when it comes to more involved apps, a little more conscious grading effort.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, and what I do is I keep it, I keep it simple. I say, well, every reflection must include one image. So I make sure, like, even if it's a reflection that's like 3 sentences or 5 or 2 points, even if there is no image involved with code or whatever, I have them grab a clip art picture and put it in there so that every time they click on their reflection, they have an image that helps them remember what that was about. So, if it's about, something about abstraction, they'll put in a clip art that has some abstraction idea, just to help them. So when they're reviewing or when I'm looking at it, I can click on it and it's a quick visual plus what they're saying. And it's just, I don't know, it's more for them than me.
I'm a little more picky. I make them describe their code, so they have to do a clip of the code blocks.
Right. If there is a
major code group, and not just for the create project, but for any project that, like for instance, when they're doing their own soundboard. So it's really the create part of the Martin Luther King one.
Yeah,
I grade that one.
Right. I agree. I do that too. But I'm saying there's a lot of the reflection assignments are about, the reading, or they're about concept of, what do you call it? The
theory.
The theory and all that. So some of it doesn't include code. It's like, what do you think? What do you think about this next? So that's when I would have them, answer the questions, and I'd have them throw in a clip art. Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
No, I agree with that. I visuals a lot. When they do the blown to bits, we do it. I do a weird version of it, and because I have a number of students that are special needs students that don't read at the same level. So the way that I handle that is, and I've also had a couple of ESL students. The way that I handle that is to do a team read, and they present their answers, and then they come back to the group. So I divide the chapter up into sections, and each group does a section and presents their section to the group. And then after that's done, they go back and they answer the overall questions on their own.
Thank you. That's also very helpful. I was curious how I was going to make it accessible to my special ed students, but that's very helpful. Thank you, guys.
I actually have a lesson plan on it, and I actually do questions by section. And I make one person in charge of being the scribe to take down the questions and distribute them out. So it's, I have roles that they have to do. And a lot of times I'll have my special ed kids be gatekeepers. So they're the ones that say, your answer isn't clear enough. I don't understand what you mean.
Hey, Pauline, this says less than a minute left on our recording. Is that okay?
So it's going to end up stopping it. So if you guys would like and you want some more time, what I can do is let this one stop and then make a new one and send you a new link so we can start a part 2.
I'd like that. Let's go.
All right. So what I can do is, since we're stopped now, I can stop it now and send you a new link in your emails, and you click that and join us for another 40-minute hangout, or however long you want hangout.
Pauline, I went and looked, and I can't find that file.
I'm not sure what file we're talking about.
I've got another hangout scheduled with the grandkids.
Yay.
So I'm not going to be on the second link.
Okay.
You've got priorities.
Sounds like you're all off to a good start, though.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I'm not going to be back either, Pauline.
Okay.
And I'll check in with you later.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Pauline.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good to meet you, Kevin.
Bye.
Yeah, we met before.
Well, good to meet you again.
Yeah, last summer. Summer.
Okay.
Alright.
The next link.
Okay, Pauline, you can close this and start another one.
Will do.